Can you find a possible place that some perpetrator got in? Maybe they're still in there. Maybe they exited. Find the entries and exits. And very important, once you've done that, start documenting everything. Remember the scientific method? After you observe, make recordings, write it down. Well, you've got to do that. Forensics are, at their core, scientists who use the scientific method. So, you've got to start recording what is there. This includes notes, pictures, hand-drawn sketches, and videos of the crime scene. The fact is, the crime scene will not be undisturbed forever. After a while, other people are going to get in there. The crime scene might be outdoors also. Animals might crawl in there and then disturb things. You've got to get as much evidence as you can as soon as possible. You don't have forever. You don't have that long. First, you must take notes. These are immediate. They record your immediate feelings and ideas about what the crime scene is. This is the closest in time that people have to the actual crime. So your thoughts that you're writing down are very important. Now it includes smells, feelings, vibrations. You might even say, "Oh wow, it sure feels creepy and dark in here." Now pictures are going to tell what it might be. But if you're saying something like that, again, if it's a scary place, maybe it was a case of self-defense where someone was really scared, and which is why they did the crime. They did some violence. But it's your notes that will tell this. Pictures that will have a flash and that might be done during the daylight are not going to pick up all these feelings. They're not going to pick up a lot of things. Certainly, they're not going to pick up the smells, which again, maybe it smells like a body is rotting. There's a lot of things that your notes will have. So you must take notes. And some of those notes are also who came in. Let's say one of the family members was trying to get in and they were banging on the door. Again, these things you have in your notes, and you should record things like that. They may be important for the investigation. And notes are done as soon as possible. You walk in there, you grab your notepad, you must start writing down. It doesn't necessarily have to be written. It's better to be written, but it doesn't have to be. One effective method is you take a recorder and you walk through the crime scene and you speak into the recorder, saying things. Instead of writing it down, you might be saying, it's kind of dark in here. I can see, but the shadows are really look strange. These are kinds of things that you can say instead of just write. So you can dictate the notes as well as just write them down, but you must take notes. Regardless of the fact that you're going to be taking pictures and videos and sketches later, you must take notes. Photography, very important. Take pictures of everything. And when you take pictures, let's say you can start, there's a system for it, but if you take pictures at a close-up of, let's say, a body, don't just take it from the top down, do various angles. There are many things that may show up in the pictures that only show up at certain angles, maybe oblique angles. Maybe there's something that the camera can catch and that person doesn't catch when they're just staring at it. So make sure when you do a close-up, get it at different angles. Also, make sure you do it not only close-ups, you go further away and take pictures from farther away, and you also take picture of the whole general crime scene. Now, photography is not a substitute for notes, but you add to the photography. You have to do both. Cameras have to have adequate resolution. Generally speaking, nowadays they are digital cameras. They have at least 12 megapixels. Most cameras actually have this kind these days, so you don't have to worry too much about that. Now, when you take pictures also, you probably got some information from possible witnesses. Try to take pictures from what the witnesses might have seen. If they're short, maybe one might want to take a picture from a low angle, or tall and from a high angle. This again might be useful, but make sure to take those pictures. They're very important. And as mentioned, make sure that the general scheme is also photograph. Not just the close-ups, not just let's say the room, but also like the whole, let's say the whole house outside. Also, again, as mentioned, from different angles. Remember, it's not just the dead body, for example. All pieces of evidence that you might find. If you find hairs in some place, take pictures of that place. You find what might be DNA in a certain place, take pictures of that. Pictures don't usually cost money. They might cost memory on your computer, but take many pictures. Also, make sure your camera has batteries, and if you're using film cameras, make sure it has enough film for all your pictures. Another thing you should do is make sure you have a scale, a ruler. Here's a ruler that tells you how big the footprint is. You can always relate the size to the size of the ruler, which is, let's say, here's inches there. The bottom here is inches, the top here is centimeters. So you can compare the size of the footprint to an actual size. Without these rulers, you would have no idea how big this footprint is. You put rulers wherever you take pictures, if you can. Here, again, you might not know how big this bed is, but if this thing, you have pictures where you can tell how many inches this is, you can tell how the bed is, the distance from here to there, what was going on here. So again, always keep rulers and some kind of scale in your picture. These little things they're evidence, sort of like evidence tags. People, they just drop them on the floor. They see evidence, they drop it on the floor to make sure that pictures will be taken of this area, of that area, of here and of there, and maybe you saw them on the night table here. Again, those are just things, tags to remember places that might be evidence to remind you must take a picture over here at that tag. That's what they are, and you find them at crime scenes. The computers that can actually link pictures together to produce some kind of a 3D model of it. Some of them are more advanced, some of them and others are not, but make sure to take the pictures. Also, videos are important, not as important as photographs, but again, they are important. Some problems that they have that photographs don't have is that they shake. So the picture might not be good. Still photographs, you stop the video at a certain point, it's not going to look as good as a picture. Sometimes when people are doing the video, at the time they might be excited and they use inappropriate words, and you have to maybe edit them out or something. There's some noise in the background that might be disturbing. It's very important to take videos, but not as important as the pictures. And never substitute pictures for videos. This is only meant in addition to the other recording methods, but not by itself. I know it's very easy to watch a video, but what's more important is to take the pictures. You got to take a video anyway, but take the pictures. Also, you have to do sketches. Usually done after the pictures have been taken. You draw your own sketch. Now, here's an example of what a sketch might look like. Here's what you might be drawing. Anyway, so the reason why is that it's very easy to see the important parts of the crime. Pictures, as you saw, have all different kinds of stuff. Or, like, for example, take a look at these pictures that we had here. Like, look at all this, all kinds of stuff over there. All this stuff. If you're drawing a sketch, you just throw, okay, here's, let's say, the discarded clothing. And here's where, DNA evidence is on. You just say these things immediately. You put these things in the sketch, like here. Just the important parts. So people, and also in a court, they're going to be seeing these sketches. It's easy for them to see what happened where and in relationship to what else in the room. So you have to have sketches.